Hello, this video is about building a replica of a remarkable Edwardian locomotive built from 1910. It was quite a small locomotive, and for some years it hauled trains of 400 or more tons at 55 miles an hour timings from Euston to northwestern England, North Wales and to Carlisle. Ours is the only pre-First World War express locomotive being built for the main line. It will be a demonstrator of the great advances made in that era due to developments in thermodynamics and under the intense pressure of demand for more facilities, for on-train dining, for toilets, for hot water and faster journey times. And it was for the benefit of all that they came up with this better locomotive. Even though it was superseded after the war by more advanced locomotives, it is a significant historical advance in engineering and is surely worth a new build to commemorate this achievement. Why, you may ask, is our locomotive referred to as Edwardian when the first one built was named George V, King Edward's successor? Well, the Edwardian era is commonly taken as extending to the start of the war, reflecting a very distinct era that ended with that terrible war. Our locomotive is, by kind permission of the Prince and Princess of Wales, then Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, named Prince George in honour of their firstborn son, and the number is number 2013, which of course is the year of George's birthday. Our presentation today is about the frame assembly of the locomotive. As of December 2024, we already possess or have on order all the essential components for the assembly. Next, we need both to work out the detail of the assembly work and to raise funds for it. This is part of a continuing process. For example, last year we had the main frame plates machined by Borough Foundry. Here is a clip of the machine drilling the 160 or so holes that were required in each plate. You could get the impression that somebody rather likes working on his rather large machine. First thing we have to do is gather all the parts together. And here we have the main frame plate, the left-hand side one, and its companion, the right-hand side main frame plate. Frame plates were spliced in two pieces. So here we have a left frame plate, front frame plate, and a right front frame plate. A drag box which joins the side frames together and forms a firm attachment for dragging the train along behind it. We have a motion plate, a frame stretcher, and these parts already either exist or they're on order. Having assembled the parts, we need to put them together. We need the main frame plate and front frame plate. We're showing the left side ones here. We need to set them up together and make sure that we've got all the fasteners and other parts to hand. Each side frame, as we mentioned before, consists of a main plate and a front plate. We've got to fasten these together. We have to align them correctly. So we first set the main frame up. It can be laid flat, upright, or even upside down, but it must be well supported. And here it is, it's shown vertical here. We set the front frame in position ahead of it and overlapping it, and that has to be exactly controlled. Now, there are 2 dowel holes in each plate. These are in the overlapping region and they must align together. But once we have the holes lined up, just the same, we check that we have achieved the dimensions of the frame that we want. We don't want it long or short, or with the front frame up or down. We remount the holes and fit dowels and temporary bolts. Permanent fasteners are hook bolts. These are strong and never loosen. Here is a hook bolt on the right. Basically a button head bolt with 0 pitch thread and a necked break-off length. Now let's put it into some pieces to join. 2 pieces and then a collar. You put the machine on it. The machine compresses the 2 together, and then magic bit swages the collar down and breaks off the extension piece. And that is it. Brilliant. So that's how we put the parts together. You can see the blue circles around the locating holes. That's where we ream. And you can see here the dowels are shown in red. They're fitted. And with the temporary bolts, we can now start to fit the hook bolts, which will do the permanent holding together. We now start the permanent assembly by fitting the first 6 hook bolts, that is 3 at each end of the joint, as you can see here, with them sticking out with this rather striking colour. After checking that no movement has taken place, we fit the remaining 31 hook bolts, the last of which we will put in the holes where the temporary bolts were fitted. The finished joint will resist a force of 100 tons. The right-hand frame plates are assembled in the same way. We now set the frame plates up on a fixture constructed so as to locate them exactly the right distance apart and square with one another. The L&WR fitted the frame stretcher first, and that's what we're going to do. And we secure it with just 4 bolts per side, and that secures the frame plates safely for further assembly. The bolts are only lightly tightened at this stage. Next, we fit the motion plate and just put 4 bolts per side in there, that lightly tightened up after lining up the 2 registration holes either side. Now we're about to fit the biggest item, the drag box, which weighs about a ton. We line the holes up and insert a bolt at each corner and tighten them lightly. Now, it is most important to check that we have maintained accurate alignment before proceeding any further. Any errors now will be built into the locomotive, and that could only be rectified by a major strip down and rebuild. If the frame alignment is okay, we can proceed to further tighten the bolts in the frame stretcher and drag box before fitting the remaining 36 bolts in the drag box and 20 bolts in the frame stretcher, tightening them all but not quite to their final tightness. The motion plate needs an extra step. The two registration plates circled in blue need to be reamed out for dowels. We fit the dowels. You can see those in the ones previously installed in red. And fit the remaining 16 bolts in the motion plate. We fully tighten all the bolts of the assembly in a planned sequence. It might be wise to prepare for this effort by taking a hearty breakfast, because it will be hard work. We have now created the locomotive's backbone on which everything else will be mounted. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation and found it's got useful information for you. If you would like to join our team, you'll be very, very welcome indeed. Email chair@newprincegeorgesteam.org.uk. The project is entirely funded by donations, and all the people involved are volunteers. They don't get paid, and they rarely submit expenses claims, so any funding goes straight to the project. See the website newprincegeorgesteam.org.uk. Now, if you'd like to see this great locomotive take shape and become a reality, please consider either a one-off donation or a regular donation to LNWR George V Steam Locomotive Trust, sort code 207326, and the account number 33862291, or follow this QR code. And please consider gift aid, which makes an enormous difference. If you would like to be kept informed, please sign up to our quarterly newsletter and updates via this QR code. Thank you for watching this presentation. We hope that you'll watch again when we produce more videos.